What in the world is there to do in Fort Lauderdale? I feel like I have no idea. Don't worry, I got you. These are gonna be the top 25 things that you can do here in Fort Lauderdale, and honestly, the last 5 are actually hidden gems. But before we start, if you or anyone you know are looking to buy, sell, or even invest here in South Florida, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can call us, email, text us, DM us, whatever's easiest for you. To be honest with you, Fort Lauderdale truly is a hidden gem. Well, I guess it's not so much a hidden gem anymore, but the reason for this is because, number one, it's in a clutch location. Right in between both Miami and West Palm, so you're only about 30 minutes to about an hour depending on traffic either way. Plus you get all the liveliness and the action of Miami while also being a little bit more tame. Then you do get that refined luxury type feel of Palm Beach while also not being so sleepy at the same time. So you're really in a great middle ground. Plus, on top of that, there's really anything and everything you want to do. Everything is really within about an hour's drive. So let's jump right into it. What are some of the best things we can do here in Fort Lauderdale? We're going to cover top 20 of the best things that you can do, along with 5 hidden gems that really only locals know about. So first up, we have the water taxi. So yes, we have a water taxi. So think of like your normal yellow taxis that you see on the road. We have these yellow boats that go around. And Fort Lauderdale is actually known as the Venice of America because we have over 300 miles of inland waterways to go and explore. So you can hop on and hop off these water taxis, really go and explore all of the greater Fort Lauderdale area. The best part is it's only $40 for an all-day ticket. So to be able to get to explore all of Fort Lauderdale, hop on and hop off, and get to see pretty much everything on the water, especially if you don't own a boat, that's a great way to go and explore and honestly spend your weekend with your family. Number 2 is kind of an obvious one, and that's the beach. We had to include it because number 1, I mean, that's one of the best parts about living in Fort Lauderdale is the beach. But on top of that, there's also great surrounding beaches as well. So when you think about it, you do have Fort Lauderdale Beach in the greater Fort Lauderdale beaches. So at Fort Lauderdale Beach, you have like the parks, you have, well, not the parks, but you have like the basketball court and the workout area. Then you have Beach Place and everything with all the shopping and dining all along the beach on A1A. Then you have in the greater Fort Lauderdale area some of the more quiet, laid back beaches. So obviously Fort Lauderdale Beach gets a little bit packed and can be wild at times. Well, if you want something a little bit more quaint and a little bit more tame, you have different beaches like Lauderdale by the Sea, which is awesome. You can head down to Dania Beach. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dania Beach is a best kept secret. I mean, it's always pretty quiet over there. If you want something a little bit more action-y with the Broadwalk, you can head to Hollywood Beach. You can head up north to Pompano and go check out the new pier that they've built as well. Speaking of the beach, let's go on to number 3, where we have Hugh Taylor Birch State Park. So honestly, right across the street from the beach, so on the other side of A1A and Sunrise, you have Hugh Taylor Birch State Park. And this is like just like you think, it's a state park. You can do everything and anything you want to do. It's over 180 acres and you can do everything from camping, rollerblading, walking, kayaking, all the way up to actually fishing. So when you're on the intercoastal and you're going by on a boat, you'll see a ton of people out fishing, grilling, just hanging out, having a good time. There's a little restaurant area. I mean, people really just want to go and hang out. So it's something different from the beach. Plus you could also rent jet skis and you're not too far. Like honestly, going over there and kayaking and just exploring and hanging out, then heading across the street once you're done to the beach, soak up a little bit of the sun. It's the evening. Then you can head down and walk down A1A and grab a bite to eat. You can head over to Primanti Brothers right there. It's really a great time. And actually they just opened a Fat Tuesday there as well. So you can go grab a drink after your nice long day, cool off from being, it gets hot, let's be honest. So that's a lot of fun and something that's kind of hidden and tucked away. Not a lot of people think about going to a state park when they think about going to Fort Lauderdale Beach. And number 4, we have boating. I mean, Fort Lauderdale is the yachting capital of the world. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go on a yacht or you have to rent a yacht or you have to go buy a yacht. Any way that you can get out on the water, whether it's a friend's boat, renting a boat, you have your own boat, jet skis, kayak, paddleboard, just being out on the water is definitely a different experience. You can go up and down the intercoastal, you can go explore the new river, you can go out to the ocean, you can go tie up to the buoys. Just being out on the water is definitely a different feel from going to the beach. Plus, I will tell you, make sure you put on plenty of sunscreen because no matter what the UV index is, on a boat, you definitely get way more sun than you do on the beach. Plus, you can go to the sandbar as well. So there's a little sandbar as you're heading down the intercoastal, heading south, just north of the 17th Street Bridge. And a ton of people hang out here, especially in the weekends. So that's a lot of fun as well. It's kind of like Fort Lauderdale's version of like Lake Boca. Obviously nowhere near that same scale, but it's still plenty of fun to go and hang out with your friends, grab a couple drinks, play football. I mean, whatever you want to do. That, shoot, I forget the name of the game, but it's like a little ball, you throw it on the water and it bounces. So that's fun to play too. Just being out on the water, enjoying and relaxing with your friends. And number 5, we have the Riverwalk. So speaking of the new river works its way up through downtown heading west. So along this entire strip is what we call the Riverwalk, which actually includes 10 different parks as well. So you'll see a ton of people out both in the early morning hours as well as the late afternoon / evening hours, just walking along it either with their dogs or their family, or even exercising. A ton of people actually rollerblade and run down it because it's kind of scenic. It's so much better than just running on like Federal and just seeing cars whiz by you and you're just worried for your life, or running through a neighborhood. I mean, yes, running through a neighborhood's fun, but being able to go on the Riverwalk, see all the boats go by, be a part of the action, and get to see everything that downtown Fort Lauderdale and Fort Lauderdale has to offer is really a completely different experience. Plus, you get to see all the new construction and all the new buildings that they're building and all the development going on as well. At number 6, we have Flagler Village, and you're probably wondering, what in the world is Flagler Village? So, you know Wynwood in Miami? This is Fort Lauderdale's version. Yes, on a smaller scale for now. I mean, there's a lot of development going on, but Flagler Village is kind of the trendy happening area right now in Fort Lauderdale. So you have plenty of different things to do, restaurants, breweries, an art scene, coffee shops, all that. Plus there's a lot of more coming in the works down the road, and you can kind of see that as you walk around. Plus there's plenty of murals and things as well. I wouldn't say right now it's on the same level. It's definitely a couple notches down from Wynwood, but you can see the opportunity and what's happening. Plus, if you like little hole in the wall bars and breweries, this is, or even restaurants, places to eat, this is a great place to go and explore. Speaking of little hole in the wall places to go and explore, you do have to go and try Invasive Species Brewing. It was actually ranked as one of the best breweries in all of Fort Lauderdale. And if you love sours, this is a place to try one. I tried one here. Didn't think I was gonna like sours. It was pretty solid, and it's definitely something you have to try. I don't know if I would ever go and crave one and order it like I would order a Corona or even a Funky Buddha Floridian, but it was something good and definitely great vibes there as well. At number 7, we have something completely different, and that's an airboat ride. So yes, Fort Lauderdale does border the ocean on the East Coast, but on the west side of Broward County is actually all Everglades. So why not go out there and explore them? So there are actually plenty of trails to go and explore and different parks that you can do that and even go fishing. But one of the cooler things is to go on an airboat ride. I mean, where in the world can you go on an airboat ride besides the Everglades and really get to see things and actually see alligators as well while you're out on the airboat ride? No, don't worry, they're not trying to jump in the boat and like attack you and things like that. However, if you want to hold an alligator, at most of these places that you go and do the airboat ride, you can actually hold them. They do tape their mouth shut, so don't worry and don't freak out about that part. You can even watch people alligator wrestle in some of the shows as well. And that's definitely something that you could take the family out to, your group of friends, or even just yourself to go out there and explore it and be out, just get out of the house at the end of the day. At number 8, we have Las Olas. So this is really much the heartbeat of Fort Lauderdale and pretty much the downtown area. So Las Olas runs from the beach all the way west to the downtown area. Pretty much on the further east side of Las Olas is mostly residential and homes, and then once you get closer to downtown is where you really start to get into the meat of it. And that's where pretty much our entertainment district, think of like the downtown area in a sense. So you have plenty of restaurants, bars, little hole in the walls, art galleries, boutiques, a lot of things that people want to go and do all throughout the day. So like in the morning, there's breakfast places, there's things in the afternoon and the evening for dinner, and anything and everything in between. Plus, you'll always see people out walking and just enjoying the day here. And they even do shut down the street for different festivals as well, like the Las Olis Art Festival. They just did have the Las Olis Food and Wine Festival as well. So this is a really cool area that you have to go and check out. At number 9, we have the Bonnet House Museum and Gardens, and this is a 1920s estate that was actually bought by Hugh Taylor Birch, and then he gifted it to his daughter as a wedding present. And his son-in-law was actually an artist, and that's where the house came into the museum part of it, because now the house is dedicated to learning and creative expression. And when you go there and see it, I mean, it's on over 35 acres, like literally right there near the beach, and you wouldn't think that all this land exists, and the beauty there actually exists as well. And you'll see all different things from the arts and architecture, along with the history and ecology as well. Speaking of museums, at number 10, we have one of my personal favorites, and that's the Museum of Discovery and Science. And yes, I know it's not for really adults, it's really for children and kids and families. However, it is really, really cool, because I remember going there growing up. It's not like your typical museum where you're looking, you're like, okay, awesome, great. It's one of those museums where you get to go and actually learn and be a little bit more hands-on. Plus, I mean, discovery and science. I mean, who doesn't like science, especially when you're at a young age, even honestly my age and probably your age, where you get to go and be hands-on and be able to learn and get to experience different things, especially nowadays with everything changing. I mean, it's so much more immersive than when I went growing up. And so you and your family might actually love it. At number 11, we have something for the shopaholics, and that's the Sawgrass Mills Mall, which is actually the largest single-story outlet mall in the US. It's actually the second largest mall in South Florida, right behind the Aventura Mall, and this mall is absolutely packed at all times, especially in the weekend. You go on the weekends, you better prepare to just park in the grass or park across the street at the BB&T or whatever they name it now. That's where the Panthers play. They're constantly changing names. but it's always packed. There's over 400 different retailers, and I will say there is always a deal to be found. One thing you do have to watch out for, and you can tell when people are tourists when you're there, is everyone who has a suitcase is most likely a tourist, because what they're usually doing is they're buying a suitcase there, and they're filling it up and then shipping it back home because the deals are that good. At number 12, you have to go and check out a sports game. And yes, well, in the greater Fort Lauderdale area, all we do have is Inter Miami and the Florida Panthers. However, any pro sport and any college sport is almost like right there in your backyard. It's only the absolute max, maybe to go to like a Miami Heat game, is about an hour, hour and a half ride, but you can get there a little bit quicker with different ways, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But think about it. You have the NBA with the Miami Heat. You have the NHL with the Florida Panthers. You have the MLB with the Miami Marlins. You have the NFL with the Miami Dolphins. You have the MLS with Inter Miami. Then you have FIU, FAU, and the University of Miami. So everything you want to do sports-wise or even collegiate sports-wise is right there in your backyard. There's not a whole lot of other places that can even say that. At number 13, we have Lauderdale by the Sea, which might be one of South Florida's best small town vibes. And yes, Lauderdale by the Sea is just up the road from like the Fort Lauderdale beach, but this is one of the quintessential downtowns and one of the quintessential beaches of South Florida in the Fort Lauderdale area. It's a lot more low-key, nowhere near as packed as Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's a great little downtown area, so it's on the edge of Commercial and A1A, and you'll see it's just like a big U. Plenty of different shops, restaurants, bars. I mean, you want to go and hang out and feel like that laid-back Florida vibe. This is definitely for you. Not something super bougie or fancy or luxury, but just solid, great vibes. Two places I actually really like there. Taco Craft, because I love Mexican food, and then Aruba Beachfront Cafe, because it's right there on the beach. You can't beat that. Plus, there's chairs to hang out, people just walking around enjoying it. And they do shut down the road quite a bit on the east side of A1A and just have different festivals and events there. It's definitely something you have to go and check out. At number 14, we have the Las Olis Farmers Market. Man, I almost messed that one up. So on the edge of Las Olis, like I was saying earlier, Las Olis goes from the beach to downtown. So on the beach side, there is Las Olis Oceanside Park, which is on the corner of Las Olis and A1A, right across the street from Elbow Room. And Elbow Room is definitely another place you have to go and check out. One of the best bars in Fort Lauderdale. It is a dive bar, but back to the farmers market. So every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., they have a farmers market with over 40 different vendors here at Las Olis Oceanside Park. And it's definitely something you can go grab a bite to eat, grab fresh produce, and even just meet people. That's one of the best things about it. I mean, a lot of locals are going there and you're getting to meet and introduce yourself. Worst case, you go in later in the afternoon, then you head over to the Elbow Room, which is cash only. A lot of people don't know that, and grab a drink and then just hang out on the beach. At number 15, let's just talk about something to go and do. And I'm not trying to spend a ton of money. So why don't we go and play Frisbee golf at Snider Park? So Snider Park is just north of the airport, east of 95. And right here, if you've never played Frisbee golf, or if you just don't know what it is in general, it's pretty much golf, but you play with a Frisbee, and then there's this big chain link hole. So the hole is like this big, it's like a cylinder with chains on it, and you throw the Frisbee and you're just trying, it's golf, but with Frisbees. So if you suck at golf, or you hate golf, or you love Frisbee golf, this is definitely something to go and enjoy, and honestly, anyone can play it. That's the best part about it. Speaking of golf, at number 16, we gotta talk about Topgolf. So we finally just opened a Topgolf here, right next to the Harrah's Pompano Beach Casino. Previous to that, if you wanted to play golf, you had to actually go play real golf, go to a driving range, or head down to Miami to go to Topgolf, or head north up to West Palm to go to Drive Shack. So now that we finally have Topgolf, it's actually opened up a lot more opportunities. It's, as you know, Topgolf is plenty fun for everyone and anyone, all ages, all skill levels. Plus, on Tuesday nights, they have some really killer deals. At number 17, speaking of the Harrah's Casino that we just talked about, you could head to the casino. So we obviously have Harrah's Casino, but really the premier one is the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel Casino in Hollywood. And as some people know it, they call it the Guitar Hotel. So yes, there's a hotel, the casino, there's shopping, there's restaurants, there's actually even two clubs, their day club and their night club. I heard the day club is absolutely insane. I haven't been yet. Actually, I haven't been to either one, but I've heard the day club is way better than the night club. On top of that, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, actually Seminole Hard Rock in general, is the only sports book here in Florida. So if you want to bet on sports or you love betting on sports, this is the only place you can do it. So yes, you can do it inside and at other Seminole Hard Rock Casino locations, or you can download their app as well. At number 18, we have the Las Olis food tour. So if you're a foodie or you're just like, I don't even know what the heck I'm gonna eat today, you can go and do this food tour for only $89. And you get to try a couple different options of food. So you get 8 different tastings along with 2 different drinks at places like Wild Sea, El Camino, Cuba Libre, B Square, Argentino, and even Hollywood Donuts. I did the one on Atlantic Avenue in Delray, and it was awesome. So this is definitely one on my list that I'm gonna do next. On top of that, if you wanna try just a drink tour, they even have a drink tour on Thursday nights. At number 19, you gotta take the Brightline. And if you're wondering, what in the world is the Brightline? What are you talking about, Joe? So the Brightline is pretty much South Florida's high-speed rail system. It is kind of a premium experience. It's nothing like Amtrak or anything else like the subways in New York or even in Chicago. So it's a quick way to get around South Florida. So it'll take you anywhere from Fort Lauderdale down to downtown Miami. Then you go to Aventura, downtown Fort Lauderdale, up to Boca and Meisner Park, and then to downtown West Palm, and even all the way up to Orlando. So you can make pretty much anywhere in South Florida a day trip, and it is a great experience. You want to take it to a heat game, they have the buzzer beater trains. You want to take it to other events, they do have specials that they're constantly running. And most of the time, if you have a trip of 4 or more people, you do get a discount. So it's a little bit more out of incentive to go and try it. At number 20, we have join a run club or just go and try a run club. If you want to go out and meet people or even just exercise, obviously running is pretty fun and it's definitely something different that not a lot of people like, but it seems like everyone and their mom is now getting into running. Even myself have gotten into running. Before, I would have never thought I was ever going to run long distance. I didn't like that at all. But now it's actually kind of fun. So once you go out and join a run club and run with other like-minded people, plus you get to meet people and hang out and even make some lifelong friends. So 2 of the best ones that I know of are the Los Olis Run Club as well as the Tropical Run Crew. So for example, the Tropical Run Crew, and they're both free, have 3 runs a week. So on Tuesday mornings, they do a track workout at Holiday Park. On Wednesday evenings, they do a shorter social run. Usually it's about 3 or 4 miles, I believe, and then they all hang out and grab a drink after. And then on Saturday mornings, they have their longer run where they run down the beach. And that's a lot of fun too, especially if you want to get your miles in and even prepare for either a half marathon or a marathon, or even if you're ballsy, an Ironman. So now let's talk about the last 5 that really only locals know about. So at number 21, we have Barkyard Bru. And you're probably wondering, what is Barkyard Bru? So think about, you mix a brewery with a dog park, boom, Backyard Bru. So it's actually a lot of fun. You get to go and hang out with your dog. You can grab a drink, seltzer, beer, whatever you want. And there's plenty of different things for them to do. There's like a little water park area, a huge open space, and it's right there near downtown. Plus the drinks aren't bad either. So imagine getting to hang out with your dog, be outside and grab a couple beers with your friends. Definitely something to go and check out. At number 22, we have one of my personal favorites, and that's Funky Buddha. So Funky Buddha is a brewery, as you probably know and you've seen in public, so you can get a Funky Buddha Floridian. It's like a better Bud Light. It's the best way I can kind of explain it, or like a Bud Light mixed with a Corona. I don't know, it's awesome. I'm not like super into beer like that. However, at the brewery, they have plenty of TVs, so if you want to watch the game, you can do that. On top of that, one of the things I don't like about going out sometimes is you just sit there. What are we gonna do? Just sit here? But at Funky Buddha, they have plenty of games, especially in the back room, so you want to do something instead of just hanging out and just sitting there and going, So that's a great place to go and check out. On top of that, they do have good food options as well, and they do even do brewery tours. At number 23, you can go and check out a speakeasy. Obviously, it's fun to go out sometimes and go to a bar or a restaurant, but going to a speakeasy that maybe not a whole lot of people know about, or it just adds a little extra level of secrecy that's kind of fun to kind of find it and hang out. Plus, you can take some cool pictures and videos. That is something that, you can go to any city and go to a bar, but you can't go to any city and find a speakeasy. You have to really know them. So some of the best ones, and you didn't hear them from me, are Room 901, Mama Hanks, No Man's Land, and even Sidecar. At number 24, we have a gondola tour. So imagine this, you're trying to take a girl out on a first date, you're trying to do something different, you're trying to stand out. Why don't you take her on a gondola tour? Like I said earlier, Fort Lauderdale is the Venice of America with over 300 miles of inland waterways. So why not be able to experience that and explore it on an evening gondola tour, going out and just exploring just you and her. Plus, on top of that, you can even get food on this gondola tour from Casa Sensei right there in Los Olas. So you have excellent food, you have excellent vibes on the gondola, and it's the evening. I'm guarantee you they're not gonna forget about that date, or you for that matter. And at number 25, we have one of the best date night spots and happy hours. And don't take just my word for it. It was actually ranked by that by Fort Lauderdale magazine. And that is Twice Removed. So Twice Removed is located off of A1A in Oakland, and it's kind of tucked away. You wouldn't realize it. And they have some excellent food and drink specials during happy hour. And I'm pretty sure that the happy hour runs all week. So all 7 days. Plus you can get some poutine. And honestly, I was like, a little iffy on it at first, but when we tried it, it was actually pretty good. And the drinks are excellent as well. On top of that, you do meet some really cool people. And if you don't want to eat dinner there, you just want to get a little appetizer, a little snack, you can. And then there's plenty of other restaurants right around that area as well. So let me know in the comments down below, what is the best thing to do here in Fort Lauderdale? Did we miss anything? Did we hit on all 25? Or is this list just completely trash? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you or anyone you know are looking to buy, sell, or even invest anywhere here in South Florida, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Please call us, text us, DM us, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.